Most people think off means safe. No tracking, no listening, no data trail. In 2025, that's a fantasy. Most modern smart TVs never truly go offline. They log what you watch, which apps you open, which ads you skip, and some models keep their microphones, Wi-Fi, and tracking tech on standby, feeding data to ad networks even when you think they're powered down. Tonight, we're ranking the 5 biggest offenders quietly watching you even when you think they're off, and revealing one setup that actually tries to protect you. Smash that subscribe button, because what's coming next might make you rethink your TV entirely. At number 5 is Roku, the platform hiding inside a ton of cheap and easy smart TVs from brands like TCL and Hisense. Roku TVs are built to be always connected. They need it for home screen ads, recommendations, and constant telemetry. Even in standby, these devices stay online to sync and update. And whenever content is playing, ACR and analytics kick in. Here's what Roku collects when you leave everything on default. Roku uses ACR, which they call Smart TV Experience, to track what you watch for ad targeting. They're logging which channels you use, your search terms, device IDs, and ad IDs. Privacy groups like Mozilla have repeatedly flagged Roku for extensive ad and analytics data collection. The good news? You can disable ACR and limit ad personalization in the settings. The bad news? Base telemetry and account-level data keep flowing as long as the TV is connected. Bottom line, Roku is risky if you leave everything on default. To protect yourself, turn off ACR or Smart TV Experience, limit ad personalization, and consider putting your Roku TV on a separate network, or just using an external streaming box if privacy matters to you. Roku is ad-heavy, but our next brand literally got busted for tracking people without telling them. At number 4 is Vizio, the cautionary tale that proved how far TV tracking can actually go. Vizio historically used aggressive ACR technology that tracked viewing across all inputs, even when users had no idea it was happening. It took federal enforcement to force them to change their practices, but their modern sets are still tightly integrated with advertising and data ecosystems. Let's talk about what happened. The FTC and state regulators discovered that Vizio had secretly logged detailed viewing data from around 11 million TVs and sold it to third parties. The result? A $2.2 million settlement and long-term privacy obligations. But that wasn't the end of it. Years later, Vizio faced a massive class action lawsuit that resulted in a $17 million settlement for TV owners who had their devices connected to the internet between 2014 and 2017. Vizio denied the allegations but settled anyway. In a statement, the company insisted it never connected viewing information to an individual's name or address, and claimed the $17 million payout was more than the revenue they actually made from licensing that viewing data. They also said they'd worked closely with the FTC to establish clear guidelines for consumer consent and adopted new, more prominent disclosures about data collection. Today's Vizio models still have ACR, which they call viewing data, but it's now opt-in or opt-out with a clearer user interface. The catch? Telemetry and home screen ads still rely on persistent connectivity. When your Vizio is in standby, it remains online for updates and ad delivery infrastructure. Off still means connected, unless you cut the power or disable Wi-Fi entirely. Think of it like a neighbor who used to record everything you did, swears they've stopped, but still stares a little too long through the window. The verdict? Vizio is better post-FTC, but still ad-driven. To mitigate the risk, explicitly disable viewing data in your settings, turn off interest-based ads, and if you're serious about privacy, run your Vizio as a dumb display with an external streaming box. But Vizio got called out publicly. Our next ecosystem bakes data collection into an entire shopping and voice platform. At number 3, Amazon's Fire TV universe. Entertainment on the surface, ad stack underneath. Fire TV has a deep tie-in with your Amazon account, ads, and Alexa. Fire TV sets are designed to stay online and ready at all times. According to Amazon's own documentation, Fire TV and Fire TV Edition sets can use ACR to log what you watch when the feature is enabled. They're collecting app usage, search terms, viewing data, device IDs, ad IDs, and on mic-enabled devices, Alexa interactions, and voice data. Here's the kicker. In standby mode, Alexa-capable devices and Fire TVs remain connected so they can listen for wake words, download updates, and serve content recommendations. Third-party reviews and watchdog organizations have flagged Fire TV for heavy personalization and ad tracking turned on by default. It's like having a personal assistant who keeps taking notes, even after you say, "We're done for today." The verdict? High risk if you're inside the Amazon ecosystem. To lock it down, turn off ACR in your Fire TV settings, disable or limit Alexa, opt out of interest-based ads through your Amazon account, and if you're really serious, put your Fire TV on a guest network or use DNS blocking. And if that already feels invasive, the top 2 make your TV part of a full-blown marketing network. Let's pause for a second because this is where things go from creepy to straight up dystopian. Every brand so far has one thing in common. They blur the line between convenience and surveillance. ACR, always online standbys, voice data, ad IDs, all quietly normalized. But the top two don't just collect what's on your screen. They help build profiles that can follow you across apps, devices, and even other services in your home. If this already has you side-eyeing your remote, hit subscribe because what's next is the part most people never hear about. All right, time to expose the ones that practically never turn off. At number 2 is LG, famous for stunning OLEDs, less famous for how its ad tech sees everything on your screen. LG integrates something called LG Ad Solutions with ACR at the glass level, meaning they can turn your viewing habits into monetizable data when the features are enabled. LG Ads actively markets deterministic ACR data collected across linear TV, streaming, and even gaming content on LG TVs. This data is used for targeted advertising campaigns. Features like Live Plus and viewing information services control ACR, but they must be manually disabled in the settings they're not off by default. Privacy research and community tests from 2024 and 2025 show persistent DNS calls and telemetry from LG TVs while they're connected to the network, even with the screen off, for updates and services. And the legal issues? In 2017, LG was named alongside Samsung and Sony in a class action lawsuit alleging all three manufacturers illegally collected viewing information through automatic tracking software and sold that data to third parties without customer permission. The lawsuit claimed these companies violated New Jersey consumer protection laws, the Federal Video Privacy Protection Act, and the Electronic Communications Privacy Act. Here's the truth. ACR stops when you opt out, but diagnostic data and some service data continue flowing as long as the TV is online. The verdict? Top-tier picture quality, integrated ad stack. To protect yourself, turn off viewing information, ACR, and personalized ads in your LG settings. Skip creating an LG account if possible, or use your LG as a dumb panel with an external streaming box and network controls. If LG is the polished version of screen-level tracking, our number 1 is the blueprint of off doesn't mean off. At number 1, Samsung. Stunning panels, aggressive data machine. Samsung's. Tizen operating system and Samsung Ads ecosystem is built around home screen ads, Samsung TV Plus, and ACR-powered viewing information services. Samsung TVs typically go into low-power connected standby, not full off. They stay online for updates, electronic program guides, ad inventory refresh, and smart features. Here's what Samsung collects. According to Samsung Ads documentation, they collect device viewing history, app usage, and content information via ACR when viewing information services is enabled. Their global privacy policy links TVs with broader Samsung services and cross-device identifiers. Consumer reports and privacy research highlight persistent network calls from Samsung TVs, even in standby. The user experience is confusing, declining some terms can limit features, but telemetry isn't fully disabled unless you cut connectivity entirely. Samsung's app and ad ecosystem lets them sell targeted ads across platforms using this data. And the lawsuits keep piling up. In 2017, consumers sued Samsung, alleging the company secretly recorded private conversations through voice-activated features and sold viewing data to third parties. Samsung fought hard to dismiss the case and force arbitration, but the case went all the way to the Third Circuit Court of Appeals in 2023, where judges unanimously ruled Samsung had waived its right to force arbitration, allowing the privacy lawsuit to proceed to trial. Samsung has consistently argued that consumers didn't forfeit their privacy rights and that they can still pursue claims through arbitration. The company has also attempted to disclaim liability for third-party data practices, stating they're not responsible for how voice recognition partners like Nuance handle data. But the courts haven't been buying it. If you want real privacy, this brand is not your friend. It's the one writing your viewing history into a marketing profile. So is there any option that respects your privacy? The best solution in 2025 is combining an Apple TV 4K with your TV used as a dumb display. Apple leans heavily on app tracking transparency, which means apps must request permission to track you. They offer clear privacy controls and the ability to limit ad tracking and analytics on tvOS. Most importantly, there's no ACR scanning of all your HDMI inputs at the operating system level like TV manufacturers typically do. You're not giving your panel vendor a full feed of your watch history. This setup works perfectly when you disable your TV's Wi-Fi, avoid creating a manufacturer account, and let the Apple TV be the only online brain. Independent coverage in 2025 still positions Apple TV as one of the more privacy-respecting mainstream options. Finally, a setup that actually shuts up when you hit off if you cut the TV's connection and let a privacy-focused box do the work. So, how do you take back control without throwing your TV out the window? Here's the core truth. Most smart TVs don't fully power down. They sit in standby, stay on Wi-Fi, and phone home for ads, recommendations, and analytics. And privacy settings don't equal full protection. Turning off ACR helps, but telemetry, operating system pings, and partner data often continue flowing. Here's what you can do right now. First, disable ACR on your TV. On Samsung, that's Viewing Information Services. On LG, it's Viewing Information or Live Plus. On Roku, it's Smart TV Experience. On Vizio, it's Viewing Data. On Fire TV, check ACR options and settings. Second, turn off voice assistants like Bixby, Alexa, or Google Assistant if you don't need hot word microphones active in your living room. Third, block or limit network access. Put your TV on a guest VLAN or use a smart plug to fully power it off when not in use. And fourth, use a privacy-safer external box like Apple TV 4K with strict tracking permissions and disable your TV's own smart features entirely. You shouldn't need a security degree just to watch a movie in peace. But if companies are going to treat your living room like a data farm, the least we can do is expose it and show you how to fight back. If this opened your eyes, hit subscribe. Comment your TV brand below, and I'll pin a guide on how to lock its tracking down. Let's make privacy the standard, not the secret.